it feels like the world's falling down, I'll be there to lift you from the ground. Don't be afraid, just let me in. Love me and I'll do the same.
Hey everybody, it's Marquita. I just did the Try Not to Sing Challenge 90s. I passed. I do believe I passed. I didn't sing, I didn't dance, I didn't hum, and like I squeezed my face, and if that disqualifies me, then I lost because I was trying to squeeze my cheeks so they wouldn't just start singing. But I think I made it. I think I passed. But I was wanting to do a Is It Just Me? And I just want to say first and foremost, this Is It Just Me? It's not meaning to be disrespectful. It's not meaning anything bad. It's just, I've been thinking about it for about a week. And it's about Harry Potter. And sorry to the Potter heads. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just, like, things popped in my head. And so I thought, you know, is it just me? Am I, like, seeing that and it's not what it seems like? And so, like, I was afraid to make the video because I didn't want people to, like, write hateful things. But if you do, it's your opinion, and this is just my opinion. So but I'm not saying that, like, my reflections on what I've seen has to do with anything with J.K. Rowling. Like, I'm not saying this about her or anybody that had to do with the Harry Potter books or films. I'm not saying anything against them personally or anything. It's just certain things that popped in my head while watching, because it's March the, let's see what today is. Today, well, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so on the 4th, well, it's the 5th today, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning. The girls and Gary sleeping. I thought I'd make this video while they were asleep. But like, it's Harry Potter weekend, and it's been Harry Potter weekend for like 2 months now. But this one is Harry Potter's weekend, Hermione. But it's funny because it's like last weekend it was Harry Potter weekend. Rupert or Ron Weasley or Rupert. So, but it's the same movies because, you know, Ron, Harry, Hermione, Dumbledore, you know, what, yeah, Dumbledore's in all of them except, what, 7, part 1, 7, part 2. I think he's in 6. Yeah, he's in 6 because that's HB. I don't like HB because of HB. Not because of Snape, because of the word HB. And that's kind of another, okay. Sorry. Okay, and my thing, what I'm coming here about, I know I rambled, is, in my opinion, and it could just be me, but is Harry Potter, that whole world, or is Slytherin and them, the followers of Voldemort, are they like the magical Ku Klux Klan? Meaning, theory number 1, they walk around in black hooded robes, even though Ku Klux Klan has white robes, except the Grand Wizard has a red one. And then they hide their face, as they do. I think that's why they wear the hood in Ku Klux Klan. And so, I don't know if they got masks. so that nobody knows who they are and what they look like. Theory or point number 2, or in Harry Potter and the Death Eaters, have black robes and masks, so nobody knows who they are. And then Voldemort, he doesn't hide his face because he don't care if you know who he is. He wants you to know who he is, which he's the Grand Wizard. He doesn't have a different color robe, but he doesn't hide his face. And then number 2, they don't like anybody that's not pureblood, and that equals, the Ku Klux Klan and the people that's in that net circle. Doesn't like anybody, no other colors except white. White is purity to them. And so yeah, and so with them not liking Muggleborn or Muggleborn, which is or wizards or witches and wizards that are born to either both have non-magical parents, or one is magical, or if they're non-magical, one of the parents has a magical dormant gene that got passed down to the said child that is now magical. But so they don't like Muggles, which is non-magical at all. Muggleborn, and Muggle lovers, Muggle lovers, which and squibs, which I feel like, okay, let me break this down to my point I was making. Muggles is, I just use black because I'm black. So Muggles are black. Not all Muggles, not in the wizard world. But like, okay, so when they say Muggles, that could be black. And then Muggle-born wizards or witches, which is, I take it as mix, like their parents interracially had a child and it's them, so they were Muggle born, but but they're magical, so mix. And then Muggle lovers is somebody that is white or another race that is okay with another race, so they're Muggle lovers, even though they're pure, they're they're pure blood and fully magical, but they are friends and they are okay with the other non-magical people or people that are magic, but the parents are not. So that's how I do that. And then the squibs. The squib could be somebody that is kind of self-hate. Like, they weren't brought up prejudice, or they was brought up prejudice and they choose not to be prejudiced, or they weren't brought up prejudiced and they choose to be prejudiced. That's how I think of squibs. Because it's like, okay, well, I don't like you because, like, even though you're white, your family is pure blood, but I still don't like you because you're still not one of us, by default of some way. So, and so that's how I break that down. And I could just be searching and looking, and I'm not trying to by any means. I am not prejudiced. don't have a prejudiced bone. I'm not racist. I don't have a racist bone in my body. It looked like it since I've been watching these Harry Potters, that's what popped in my head. I'm like, you know what? They got kind of similarities. And then, example number 3, or my point number 3, is they have slaves. And, I mean, I know slavery got abolished, when was it, 1800s? I'm sorry, don't quote me on that. But in some countries, they still have slaves. And it's not only one color owning another color. It could be the same color owning that color. They're same race. But, so, you know, the house elves are slaves. And, you know, some of them are imprisoned and they want to be free. And the only way they can be free, you know, like in real slavery, they either ran away, and, you know, if you got caught, and, you know, or if you didn't get caught, you kind of lived out your days free, scared, but free. So, you know, when you give a house elf a piece of clothing, they are now free, which that, you know, I'm saying, when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation, I think that's the right one, to free slaves. And so when you give a house elf a piece of clothing, you're setting them free. They're no longer slaves. And then they are slaves that work in the kitchen and work at Hogwarts and other things. And some of them don't want to be free. And some of them love working. And that makes them, even though they're like, if I'm free, I will kill myself. I don't think they would kill themselves. But, I mean, and I'm thinking about, when I'm thinking about the ones that didn't want to be free, and I could be wrong, and it could just be a character in the book and movies, but I'm thinking of Uncle Remus off of Song of the South, and it might be a bad reference, but like, he was free, and I mean, I think he wanted to be free, but he stayed on and he worked with the family, and he still lived there, and he still helped, even though he was a free slave. And but that's like the only reference that I can think of right now. And Dobby, he wanted to be free. And as soon as he got his walking papers, he was like, deuces. And I'm going to be loyal to this guy, Harry Potter, that set me free. So Harry Potter, Abraham Lincoln, Dobby, the slaves. But and then I'm thinking of Winky, which was, if y'all read the book, y'all know who Winky is. Winky was Barty Crouch Sr.'s house elf, and she didn't want to be free. And like, she cried and cried and cried, and she helped Barty Crouch Jr. escape, and I think she got in trouble, and then they ended up giving her like a shirt, which gave her walking papers, and she was like distraught. She did not want to be free. The house elves that work at Hogwarts and the house elves that work in the kitchen, pretty much that works, they don't want to be free. They're like, please do not give us clothing. And Hermione try to keep giving them clothing. And Hermione's group, the what is it called? The house elf wags or something. Whatever her thing was, like, the pretty much organization against house elves, like, to free them, could be the NAACP, or that's the only one I could think of, that are groups that are like, okay, well, this is wrong, and you don't need to treat people, any color like this is strong. You know, we're going to stand up for them. Million Man March, Million Wizard March. But yeah, so this is a long video, but I just, in my head, it made sense. But I could be wrong. And please, 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 please don't make any hate videos about this. I mean, if you do, it's your opinion. Just, if you don't like it, then just don't like it. But I just want to put my little 2 cents in things, and I just wanted to come and explain my thoughts on it. I mean, if that makes sense. But hopefully y'all like this. Like, comment, subscribe if you would like. But just think about it. I think it's funny.